All right. We are back at the Grit Won't Quit podcast studio in Belmont, New Jersey. And we have a very special guest on. You might remember her from a Facebook and Instagram live that we did not too long ago. We have Nayda from
Mercuriosities
On Main. Oh, man, that's a tough one for me. I never get that right. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
This is outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we got you. It started with the one little video, and then you were like, all right, I could do this podcast.
Yeah. Now I'm almost famous.
I think you are famous already. I think you are famous, and I also think that people love your stuff.
Thank you. Yeah,
I brought home the gift to my wife. Andrew, did you bring your gift home to your girlfriend? My wife loved it, and she said, I got to go down there. And I said, you should go down there. And it's right by that pizza place, Olivia's.
They're so good.
Which she loves, so I think she'll probably just stop in one day getting pizza in our travels.
Yeah, we love it there, too.
A great place.
Delicious.
So you started your business a year ago. Tell me the good, the bad, the ugly.
So I started last January, so it's been a little over a year. And last year for me was the year of saying yes to everything, every opportunity, seeking opportunities, trying every market, putting my stuff in other people's shops.
So you really put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. You really just took everything upon you and said yes. What'd you learn?
I learned that this will be the year of saying no. But I also learned a lot because of that. I think that's just the way to go. I threw myself in. I wanted it to be all or nothing. I wanted to see what worked and what didn't. And the only way to do that was to try every single thing. And now for me, I know what works and what doesn't.
Perfect. Now, a year ago when you started this, for the people that didn't see our live video when I was at the shop, tell people why you started this, how you got into it.
Well, I had started right after my mom passed. I was helping take care of her before that, which was, a lot of people know, extremely difficult. And then I started therapy because, I had a lot of loss in my life, but with your mother, it's different. And my mother and sister and I are
inseparable.
Very, very, very close. Mm-hmm. So it was a really hard time, and I just felt lost. And the talk therapy at times in my life has helped me tremendously, but for this grief, I needed something else. I needed to feel productive, and I needed to meditate, and I can't do that. I am not that still person. Mm-hmm. I can't be still like that unless I'm reading a book. I'm very high energy, high anxiety, all of that. So I started getting, creating all of these products that I do for herbalism that I used to make for myself and my family. And I thought, I'll sell them online. And it just kept morphing into, I feel better. And then I said, I'm going to help other people feel better. And so I started doing little workshops. And that was really initially what got me going. And
that's great, though, that you've helped other people through your healing and through your, that you've been able to turn that and now turn it into, one, you turned it into a business. Two, you turned it into a passion. I can tell when I talk to you, you feel good about what you do.
Yeah, I love it.
Like we said before we went on air, there's some people that are just about the bottom line. There's some people that want to do the bottom line and community. There's some people that care really about the customer, and that's what their passion is. You really care that these people that these women are healing and getting better and feeling better about themselves.
Yes, it just is natural. It's this kind of force and this energy where the people attracted to certain workshops I do and attracted to my little space there, they walk in and it's, I just lost my husband, I just lost my mother, I lost a child, these tragic stories, but they're all so beautiful, these women, and so resilient, and there they are getting out of bed every day, and it's like, I have an idea. I know some things that will help you get out of bed.
Yep.
Because the mornings, that's the hardest.
Really?
Yeah, every morning it's like when you're going through trauma or a tragic loss, that's when you remember. And I get constant texts, and I don't mind. I love them. Yep. I respond immediately.
You could tell I have no trauma in my life. The morning's my best time. I wake up and I'm ready to go. I wake up and I'm like, shower, eat breakfast, get to the office. There's no
That's good.
And checking my phone in between. But mornings are my time to shine. They've always been my time to shine. Since I'm a little kid, I am a morning, like come 10 o'clock at night, like I'm snoozing on the couch. I'm not really there anymore. My wife is the opposite. She's a night owl. I'm going to bed. I gotta get.
Yeah, that's like Anthony and I. He's asleep, and I'm just like watching movies on my phone, trying not to wake him up. But I get
So
it.
he's a morning guy too.
Oh yeah, super early morning guy, and I'm.
He's got to do his hair.
Yes, that's all natural, Tom.
I don't know what you're putting. I don't know what shampoo you're giving him to get those natural curls going on. That's funny. So I mean, so you grew up and you've had PTSD along the way. So like when you started really getting into this really kind of got you to that next level then in what you were dealing with.
Yes, for me personally, I was diagnosed with severe PTSD a few times in my life. I had, a very beautiful childhood. I was unconditionally loved by my mother and her side of the family. We are the first generation born here, myself, my sister, and my cousins. And, I was surrounded by...
Where in Italy did she grow up?
Body.
Body. Oh, down south.
Yes.
All right.
But there was also, a dark side to our childhood, and I lived through a lot. But as I was telling you earlier, that kind of fills you with a certain kind of shame, and it defines your life. And you don't take these risks because you don't believe in yourself. So doing this at 50 years old, it's changed me completely. And I know that I can help other people find that confidence and release that shame and insecurity. And it feels good. And I see it happening, and it's working. And we're just... women supporting each other, and it's been
women
so beautiful.
Supporting women, great.
It is
great.
And you hear those terms, and I've heard them before, but I never, truly, like, there are women that I've only met through social media on Instagram, and they've been some of my biggest support, like ordering through the website, and we, see stuff going on online and commenting and, sharing each other's things, and just this whole world out there. And it's just been incredible.
That's great. And it's just only going to grow. This community of women that are in support and you're healing and helping and have products, offers for, that's only going to grow as time goes on. You're only a little over year one. I mean, you're only just beginning.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like I'm glad that I had that time, though, to really study the herbalism. And, I never, like I said, even with the therapy and stuff, I never really wanted to do medication, not because I'm against it in any way, but because I am a tired woman. I am exhausted. I have 2 kids, 8.5 years apart. So for 20 years, I've been parenting and barely sleeping. And for me, I felt like I wanted natural ways to feel better. So that got me into the herbalism and being able to incorporate that when someone comes in and they can't sleep, and I can tell them herbs that will help to have in a tea or a tincture, and I can offer it to them. And, the beauty products, I'm so proud of them and so happy with the face serums and the masks, this following I'm getting. It makes me so happy because...
Now, you're vetting these out, and you're trying them first before you...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
your model is you'll try it, make sure that it passes your test.
Right. And the products I sell the most of are ones that I've been using for many, many years. So, I mean, the only thing that didn't take off was that mask I added cinnamon to. That burned. But I tried it on myself quite a few times, and I was like, it was not good.
What it was supposed to
even
do.
with just a little sprinkle, I was like, you know what, this is not for Mercuriosities. We're not doing cinnamon in our masks. But everything else, it's pure, it's organic, and it feels good. And like I was saying before, it becomes this part of a ritual of loving yourself. And these little steps we take to take time for ourselves, I don't think people see what women go through as mothers, as daughters. We are taking care of everybody, and you start to feel like you're disappearing. And that's a big theme with the women that come in. they feel unseen, they don't feel good about themselves. And these little steps, like just the skincare, just using a mask and a serum and hiding in the bathroom for 10 minutes to do that, the response I've gotten has been amazing.
Game-changing.
And it's morphs into other things, because when you see you can take those 10 minutes and everybody is still okay,
Yep.
it grows and it snowballs. And I know it because I've been doing it now for the past almost year and a half, and it feels amazing, and it changes you.
And now, when you do these classes, kind of talk about like what happens, like what you do when you hold these workshops in Farmingdale.
The workshops have been great. I do some for kids, and they're always like artsy. We do things like planting seeds, terrariums, little magic potion stuff. So I have fun stuff, and I think the moms love that because they get a break. And once they get to know me and trust me, it's somewhere they can go and drop their kids for 2 hours and have that time.
And they know you're not crazy.
Yes. But the women's workshops, and men are welcome too. There's plenty of women that bring their husbands, and they come in and they have their head down and they're like, she brought me to decoupage. She brought me to make a flower candle. And honestly, the men are like amazing at that stuff. Like they're there with their tweezers and the rose petals by the end of it. I'm like, you made the best one here. So
you're coming back next Saturday.
I say women, but everyone is welcome. And I've had everybody come, boyfriends, husbands, sons. It's a beautiful, intimate environment. They're never so big that you're not heard or seen. And they're a good time. And like I said, when you get in these circles and you're creating, it is a kind of meditation, and people start talking, and these commonalities come together, and 1 minute someone's laughing, 1 minute someone's crying, but everyone leaves feeling better, feeling lighter, feeling inspired, especially me. Every person I've met has inspired me so much in these classes.
That's great. And how often do you have them?
I try to do at least 2 a month. It gets harder as I get busier. I am invited now to do workshops at a lot of other places. So finding the balance of going to some place to hold a workshop there and meet new people and a whole other following that they have is amazing. But my space is it's so magical, and I always come back to that. So I try at least 2 a month.
Perfect. There. And I mean, as you keep growing your network and people finding you, it's got to be great. Like, people want to bring you in.
Yes. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, I'm proud of that. I feel like I go for these meetings, people will reach out on social media, or maybe it's someone who took one of my workshops to invite me to their place, and I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that like they liked it so much that they want to bring you and
yes.
and bring you as as the thought leader to their group of people, or to their office, or to their network.
Right.
That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, and there's just so many different classes I do, so it really speaks to all kinds of interests.
Yep. So let's talk. You talked about the yeses a little bit. Let's talk about some of the nos. Like, so again, being in business is not easy. You've heard me say this on this podcast probably 100 times at this point. Being in business is hard. So knowing that, so you said yes to everything because you wanted to see what was out there, explore it, figure out the things that you wanted to double down on, and the things that you want to pull back from. So now some of the things you want to pull back from, kind of let's just explore that a little bit.
Definitely the markets. I'm not, you have to be on all the time and very outgoing and very social, which I can be, but it becomes overwhelming and overstimulating, and it's backbreaking labor, the setup, the breakdown, and
in my next life, I'm going to just do trade shows. I love them.
Really?
I love those 3 hours. Like, I think maybe you don't know. I also am an investor in a limo company that does trolleys and stuff. So I do the
yes,
wedding.
I saw that. That
the
looks
wedding
so
trade
fun.
shows, and I love going to them. Even when I'm tired, I'm talking to everybody.
Really? Yeah, that's.
I've never met a stranger. That's my problem.
Yes, I can see that and feel that.
Like those 2 or 3 hours, Mike will say to me, "Oh, Tom, there's a trade show on Saturday at 2:00 and wherever." And I'm like, "I'm there. I love it." So in my next life, when I retire from Wingman, I'm just going to try to find a company that wants a guy that does trade shows. And once a week, I'll just go to a trade show and, move on. But yeah, that's funny. It's funny, though, that how everybody has different things that they like and don't like. But I could tell, like, it's not for everybody. When I go to those shows, I look at some people and they're hiding behind their booth. To me, if you're going to be at the show, you got to be out there.
Right.
You got to be in that overwhelming, because otherwise you just spent money on a booth. You spent time on, going. You bought a tablecloth. You bought the retractable banners. If you're not going to be out there, like, it's not the best benefit.
Yeah, I love like the curated markets that, like I'm doing this health and wellness expo coming up at Limoncello. And that's something like, that's my jam. That's
your jam.
That's my stuff. I fit in.
Yep.
That's what I learned. Like, unless it's something that's focused on you, like it has to be a market you fit into. And I do it, and I throw myself out there and I talk to everybody. And then there was this fear, like, how can I stop doing this? Because I got this wholesale account from that market, and but there are other ways, because that past year of saying yes to everything built my confidence. And now I have the confidence to walk into a store and say, look at this great stuff I make. I think it'd do great here.
I didn't know you a year ago when you started, but I think even in our interaction since meeting you, you're more confident than when I first met you.
Yes.
And I love every bit of that. I love that confidence, because that confidence is what makes you successful in business, makes you successful at home. It makes you a happier person. Confidence is, if you don't have confidence and you feel like you're always wrong, or you're always not feeling confident, it's hard to go through life like that.
Right, and the confidence, it's really just believing in yourself. If you make a product, believing in your product. My mother used to always say, you have to show yourself to the world. And I would be like horrified, like, what are you talking about?
No, that's
Why
not what
would
I
I do that? And she was the original customer. Like, I made all of my beauty products for her because she had tons of allergies. So she had to use everything natural, and she used to use it and say, my skin is changing so much and I feel so better and I'm sleeping better with this. Show yourself to the world. Show the world what you make. And I would be like, that is horrifying. Absolutely not. But now I hear that in my head. It's like my mantra. Like, I'm like, all right, Mom, I'm showing the world. And
I feel like
it
your
changes
mom
everything.
Talked to Anthony, and he listened to the lessons first.
Yeah.
He lets everybody know. He wants
it's true.
My tax fellow is for the world to know about. But I'm glad that you're finally taking her advice.
Yes, me too.
Like,
I am.
It sounds like if you were doing it longer, you would be even further along. But again, the journey has to start when you're ready and comfortable to start, because otherwise it's never going to be.
Right, and the timing, I think of that. I'm like, oh, if I did this when I was 20 years younger, or, it would have been different.
But you're here now. You're here into year 2. You found the successes. You found the things that make you want to do it, and now just take those and roll forward with them.
Yes.
That's the key now. And again, I think some of the no's are, if they're not a good fit for you, you'll find that wholesale lead somewhere else.
Right, exactly.
Again, they'll come to your website. You'll see them at the shows that you want to be at. They'll find you.
Yes.
And people come into your workshops. The fact that you have new people coming in every other week is a winner too.
Yes.
You're going to outgrow that spot.
I know, it might happen.
I feel like that spot is definitely going to be outgrown.
As it is, I'm already sneaking some things into the middle room there, so we'll see.
Good thing Lorenzo's at college right now. That's great, though. So, I think that's awesome what you're doing. And I think that it's great that, again, even at 50 years old, you decided now's the time. It's never too old to start a business.
No.
And even there's some Instagram meme that has ages of guys when they started, and people started at older age. They weren't all 25 and 30 years old. They weren't all Mark Zuckerberg. They were older in their second acts, and when they started their businesses, and they've been very successful. And again, success is measured differently through every business owner. There's no right and wrong vision of what success equals.
Right, exactly. I feel I've met some amazing people that are just starting businesses and that are my age or older, and I just think that's so inspiring and cool.
30 anyway, right?
I would say new 20.
There you go. 50 is the new 20. She said it here. Got 3 years, and then I'll be the new 20. So I'm ready. I got the gray hairs to prove it. So in year 2, what are some of the successes you want to see?
I really need you to help me with my website because
Wow, that was not scripted. That was off. She just said it.
I do. I love that orders are coming in now, and I feel so much joy in filling them and wrapping them and packaging them and sending little free gifts. And now that that's getting more, busier online, the website needs to be better. I built it myself, like I said, watching YouTube videos, crying myself to sleep, thinking like, how do I get the cart to link to this? It took months. And I'm like,
I wish I knew you before that. But we met now, so we'll get it going.
SEO and all that stuff that I don't even know what it is, I need help with.
Absolutely. So. I don't know if you know from when she's been in your office, the other part of your office, Heather from our team. I think she'll be great. I think she's going to be a wonderful fit to help, make this happen. She helps Anthony with his website. So when this is over, we'll get Heather on the phone and we'll have a quick meeting and get this going.
I would love that.
All right, so the website, great. That was just a bonus. That was not scripted again. The website, great. What are some of the other things that you want to take on in year 2?
I just want to keep going with the workshops. I want to make the time for that because that's also my passion, and that's, where this light and this magic is just spreading. And definitely, I have so many ideas. I have notebooks full of ideas. We're doing herbalism courses. We're, doing art, pressed flowers. My sister and I do one called the Botanical Bartender. I think I might.
You told me that, yeah.
And that's like my most popular one, but it's so much fun.
Yep.
And even if you don't drink, you can use these concoctions and elixirs and teas and seltzer, and they're healing, or they make a really fun cocktail. But it's like a party. Too? She's in Brick, my sister.
Oh, good. So
yeah.
So it's nice.
She's our in-house mixologist.
I love it. So two Staten Island girls came to New Jersey.
Yes.
There's a story in that, too.
It's herbalism with a twist, we call it. The herbs and the cocktails.
I like it. So that's cool. So you got a lot of things going on for this upcoming year. And just keep going. I
am. I have, a few things coming up with different businesses, other women-owned small businesses that I'll be either selling stuff there or doing workshops there. And but I started doing my newsletter finally. So I've been.
You got there.
It's hard to keep up with that stuff. I need help.
I think just thinking kind of out loud, like the workshops, again, we could end up putting them online, and you have the newsletter, set up constant contact or one of those services to get those out and more regularly. And again, that's going to end up keep drawing more people in.
Well, you know what happened, Tom? I did a reel, and for some reason I have like 50 women from Australia that want to take this Japanese fabric art course. They want me to do an online course.
Do it.
I don't know how to do that.
Andrew, I'm calling in Andrew. I'm calling in Heather. Who else is? Jenna, I think, is going to be on this case soon.
But that's a really cool concept,
that's a really
too.
Great concept.
And then I just put the link to the supplies, sign on, I show you how to do it, and there I am in Australia.
This is genius.
Right?
But there's other women's groups
that are it's
out
their
there.
idea. Like, I'm not even coming up with these ideas. And that's what I love.
I always have said, I love when the customers tell me what they want me to do. I come out and I say, all right, we're going to do this, this, and this. The customer's looks at me all weird, and they're like, I don't want to do that. I want you to do this, 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 and this. And they're like, okay, that was easier. I never was supposed to be a website builder.
Really?
No, my company was I was a lead generator. I would help guys, contractors, get leads. And then they said to me, can you just build my website and forget this whole lead service? Can you just build my website? Can you get me brochures? Can you do this? I didn't do any of this stuff. But I would listen to the customer. 15 years later, here we are.
Yeah, that's what happens. They have the best ideas.
You have to listen because they're the ones that are buying. They're the ones that are spending their money. So you want them happy. So that's if this group said that, there's other groups that would do it.
Yeah. I'm excited to try that.
So start it. Listen, I'm going to do this for you.
Okay.
Andrew is going to do the recording. We're going to do it free of charge for you for Australia.
Really?
Whenever you want to do it, you coordinate with us. Andrew will take care of it at no charge to you. Try it, and if it works, then we'll do other ones for you.
Yes.
Look at that, and it's on video. So
What a lucky girl!
I can't retract my offer.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
I think that's so cool. I think you should do it, and I don't want an obstacle to be I can't figure out how to do it. I don't want to spend money on it. I'm going to make sure that it just happens.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
So cool, though.
Yeah,
And then you're going to
cool.
make 20 of them, and then we'll record the other 19 for a charge.
Okay, it's a deal.
So, this is so cool. Like I'm inspired talking to you.
Thank you, Tom.
This is great. Like it's really just kind of happening.
Yeah, and it's easy to talk to you. You bring everything out, and you make me feel so comfortable.
I'm so happy that. Again, I'm so happy that they gave me the tour. They showed me your
me
spot,
too.
and that's kind of how this whole thing started. So I'm glad that we were able to do this. So as we wrap up today, let people know where they can find you. Your website, your socials, your store, etc.
My website is Mercuriositiesonmain.com. I know it's a mouthful.
Are we able to ever change that to a shorter domain so like guys like me can say it?
As long as it's not mom.
No. We're gonna look at some different. Okay. I think that's hard to say.
It is. I know. It was close to my heart. It started as just Mercurio, my mom's last name, but I had separated it into 2 words.
Yep.
And then it just kind of morphed. I don't know. Everything has had a mind of its own.
All right. Well, I don't want to change that on you, but I just think it'd be easy to say.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then where are you in Farmingdale?
I'm at 39 Main Street in Farmingdale, the rear entrance behind the tax office, right on the corner of South 3rd. You will know when you're there because there's a beautiful herbal flowery mural on the back. You can come anytime by appointment. You can reach out to me on social media. On Instagram, I am at Mercuriosities, which is easier than On Main, right?
The On Main's the easy part. Yeah. Come on.
And I do lots of pop-up shopping days. I have Easter and Mother's Day coming up, so we'll be open for that.
My mom's coming into town for Easter. I'm gonna bring her the day before so she could see it. So she could see.
I would
shop.
love that.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll be there with Santino, my young business partner.
I've never met Santino. I've only heard his name.
He's a very good advisor. He does the whole children's section in there.
All right,
he knows
cool.
what's cool, what's hip.
All right, so this is great. I'm so happy you came on.
Me too.
I know that you were thinking twice if a podcast was for you. You are ready for podcasts.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, awesome. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you so much.